let y'all go, man.
Hey, man, it's good to see you.
Same here.
All right,
bro.
man.
See you next week.
No doubt.
Y'all come out every Sunday?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
All right, y'all, here we are. We're back. This week, I'm coming off the highs of the Olympic trials. I still can't stop thinking about those Olympic trials and, man, just how much of an amazing experience it was. I was going back through some of my old videos, and I remember the ones that I recorded on my phone. I remember talking about how windy it was. I just wanted to show y'all this one little clip right here so you can see the wind. The flag trembling. Yeah, coming back from that, so many memories from the Olympic trials. I wouldn't be surprised if every once in a while I still go back and show you guys a clip or two from that weekend, because there was just so much and it was hard to contain it into one video. But I want to keep these videos nice and short and succinct so that you guys can just get a quick update, and I don't want to hold you too long. This week I got back to 100 miles. I had a little bit of pain. So on Sunday, remember, I paced the Publix Atlanta Marathon. And I think I tied my shoelace too tight on my left foot. This is nothing new for me. I've done it before. But that resulted in me having a little bit of soreness right there at that spot where the knot is on my left shoe. That lasted for a couple of days. Wasn't too bad. I was still able to run through it, and that eventually went away. But then now on my right foot, I think I might have sprained the toe. My middle toe on my right foot. It's not really swollen. It's just a little, it's a little swollen. It's a little bigger than what I'm used to it being, and it just doesn't flex as comfortably as the rest of my toes. But I can move it on its own. I know it's not broken or anything like that, but just something to keep an eye on. It didn't interrupt any of my runs this week. I was still able to do my long run. My long run this week was 20 miles. And we dialed back the pace a bit. We intentionally wanted to go out at about a 7:30 pace and hold that constant. And I finished a little over 20 miles at exactly 7:30 pace. So stayed on track there. Bumped into a few local Atlanta celebrities, the regular folk out there on the trials. Bumped into my man Ed. We saw Tess out there, Lamar. Just lots of runners out there. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Had a great run mostly with Marquel and Habib.
They done brought out the fast shoes this morning.
I'll be honest, though. For some weird reason, I don't know. I think I like those over these.
These are softer, which is why I put these on today, because of my trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with this toe.
Yeah.
But those are faster. But I like these. Like if I had to walk around somewhere, I'd much rather walk around in these.
I mean, I don't know. This is my first iteration.
I'll be honest though, those are actually, you'd be surprised, those are actually pretty quick and springy. I don't know if it's just...
Well, I believe
it's more of this is more of a placebo effect, I feel. And obviously with the upper, it's just a little bit lighter.
So if you had race day, which shoes are you going to race in? If you had to choose between these, the greens and the reds?
I'll choose those.
Really? See, I haven't raced a marathon in these since I've gotten those. Every single marathon I do now, I do them in those. Except for, I paced last weekend in these, but I was just pacing. Again, because these to me are softer.
Keep in mind, my PR in the marathon was in the street.
Yeah.
So those are flats.
Right.
So there's not even any kind of foam in there. So this makes you...
Which makes me
fast.
think even more, you would want to lean towards those in a race. But
I've never ran a race in these.
Got you.
So that's what I don't know.
What did you run the race in?
Well, I ran the race in these.
Why didn't you go with the red ones?
I didn't have any more.
Oh, okay.
I
I have to admit, I'm a little bit nervous about Boston. So Boston's my next big race coming up. I'm looking to run a time sub 250. Right now on a course like Boston, given some good weather, I'm feeling really fit. I feel like I'm probably in shape to run something like 240 low, maybe 240 mid. So I'm just really interested to see. I don't have a time in the 240s right now. I have a 237 that was on a downhill course, and I have tons of times in the 250s. I'd love to get a time on this Boston course in the 240 range. Hopefully in the lower end of it, but I'd take anything in the 240s, and I'd be happy with that. But this coronavirus is serious, man. This week they canceled London Marathon. They canceled the Rome Marathon. So all of these big profile marathons are getting canceled. And it just makes me wonder about Boston. Boston keeps putting out little press notices, little feelers, basically saying that they're monitoring the situation. They're working with the CDC. Just sort of your common statement saying that as of now, no plans are changing, but they're definitely staying abreast of the outbreak and the situation, and they'll make any changes accordingly. I really hope the event doesn't get canceled. This week I also got a chance to hang out with the RunDuo crew with Tommy in India. Went over there and recorded a podcast with them, really long podcast. I mean, I think that thing went well over 2 hours. So they ended up chopping it up into 2 weeks. But it was fun, it just brought me back to my days of when me, Roy, and Omari used to do Real Runners of Atlanta. So this time I went on, I've been on their show before, but normally it's they're interviewing me. But this time I said specifically, like, look, I don't want to get interviewed. I just want to hang out on the show as essentially the third cast member. Just so we could talk about the trials. I was, again, still excited about the trials and just wanted to enjoy the art of podcasting. Today I'm rocking my Laceup Fitness hat. My man Patrick has a race coming up pretty soon, the Final Four Fast Break 5K. Not sure if I'm going to be in town. I'm supposed to be out of town on a work trip, but if I'm here, I'm definitely going to be running that race. I just got certified as the USATF 5K, I believe, Masters Championship. So it should be a lot of fast runners out there. It keeps promising that it's a really fast course, so it might be a good opportunity to get yourself a fast 5K, if you're looking to try to get a 5K PR. Yeah, I think next week, as I'm looking forward into the next few weeks, I certainly plan on staying above 100 miles a week for the rest of the month, going through March. I'm going to start to incorporate a lot more fast tempo running, some stuff. Mostly, I'm going to try to get around marathon pace for a large percentage of my runs. I like to get about 20 to 30% of my weekly volume. So of those 100 miles that I'm running a week, I'd like to see about 30 of those miles to be right at around marathon pace. And then as we get into April, late March, going into April, I'll probably start just a little bit of a taper, and I'll make sure I'm incorporating some more below marathon pace miles, just to try to blend these paces together, get my body used to the high volume, get my body used to the marathon pace, and then even as we get closer to the marathon, to get my body also adjusted to faster than marathon pace. And that'll hopefully give me the energy during those last miles, where after I get through, Heartbreak Hill and all the hills going through Newton, when my body is feeling tired, I can hit just that one extra level, put it that extra notch, that extra gear, so that I can finish just as strong as I did, hopefully, the first 20 miles of that race. Because really with Boston, it's downhill, then you go through the Newton Hills. Once you get through the Newton Hills, it's actually slightly downhill for the rest of the race as you get to the finish line. So if you can get through those hills in good shape, there's no reason why Boston couldn't actually be a really, really fast course. I want to be able to attack it that way.